I did pretty good on Tennessee on the money line. I was on the sports show with Billy Elvis in Ohio, and he asked me to give him a pick on the game, and I told him that I was not so much picking the winner as I am. I was taking Tennessee on the money line this week, and he's like, "Are you insane?" And I said, "Well, maybe." He's like, "Why wouldn't you take the points?" I said, "Because I want to win big if I'm going to win this game." And I just had a feeling. So I did pretty good on the Tennessee Volunteers last week, knocking off Alabama in the final seconds.
Yeah, and it was really and it was an incredible finish, wasn't it? And it's funny to watch the Bama team be vulnerable every week now.
Yeah, we've seen it. It was almost bend not break for them earlier, but Tennessee had their number, and it's fun to see Tennessee good again because it's been so long since they've been a great team. One of the biggest stadiums in college football, over 114,000 people. And it's fun to see that stadium busy and rocking. The goalpost wound up in the river last week. So what a fun time. Tennessee got fined after the football game on Monday for them not being able to keep people off the field after the win, where they felt endangering the players of the game. So they got a humongous fine after that. But they said they didn't care. They'd pay it, and they're gonna keep going. What a fun young team to watch.
No, the historical win, no doubt about it. Historical win. Speaking of historical wins, let's string a couple more winners together.
Next game we're going to look at is we're going to look at two teams who had terrible losses last week, Baltimore and Cleveland both. Cleveland just got worked by the Patriots, who were on their third string quarterback. And now there's somewhat of a controversy there in New England. And then we're talking about Baltimore, who didn't have the greatest of days last week either. Two teams, Baltimore, for sure, a team that was, thought to be the top of the division with Pittsburgh taking a step back, a little bit of a Super Bowl hangover for the Bengals. And the Browns, who built up a pretty darn good football team waiting on the arrival of Deshaun Watson this year. It was okay. Jacoby Brissett was able to navigate it the first couple of weeks. But, after that loss when they fell apart to the Jets at home, it seems like things have gone downhill for the Browns. They've had trouble getting the ball in the end zone. They can't stop anybody. When a third-string quarterback, scores 40-plus points on you, there's some issues there. They may have the best defensive player in the league on that team as well. And it's just, you look at it and you're like, why is this team so bad? I don't think it's just the quarterback. I think there's a lot of issues, going on with this team. So we're going to see these two teams going this week. Lamar Jackson had taken a step back the last couple of weeks. He's playing for a contract bet on himself. I think that he's going to have some fun this week going against this Cleveland team. Keeping his running backs healthy is going to be a big thing. Mark Andrews, who is right up there with Travis Kelce, is the best tight end in the league. I am taking Baltimore this week. I'm putting my money on them. And I'm going to bet the Ravens this week to come out and have a rebound game and put a little smackdown on the Cleveland Browns this week.
They had the game. That game was one of the ones we were watching. They had the game. They had the ball. They had the lead. They weren't covering, but they were going to win that game. There was 5 minutes left, and all you got to do is not do something stupid. And he's been around too long now to make that throw and do something stupid.
Yeah, it definitely was a huge mistake. At that point, you want to see Lamar Jackson using his legs to get first downs and run this clock out and not throwing an interception. But it's the NFL, and like it was said a long time ago, that's why they play the games. That was a term actually coined by Chris Berman way back when. So that is why they play the games.
All right, give us one more.
We're going to look at a team who I think had a disappointing loss last week in the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs, who obviously heartbroken at the end of that game with the Buffalo Bills. What a fantastic game that was for a Sunday afternoon last week. Patrick Mahomes looking to rebound with his team. There are some exciting young players on this team. They're still trying to, cover up for the loss of Tyreek Hill. Juju Smith-Schuster with a touchdown last week. They got Sky Moore, the young rookie who's pretty quick from Western Michigan, involved last week. Again, we talked about San Francisco in desperate need of a bye week. They're a team that every year seems like they're fighting, with tons of injuries to key players. That's happening again to them, especially on their defensive line. We've got running backs injured all over the place again. George Kittle seems fragile every year, and week to week he will play in the game, but it's getting to be tough sledding. We already saw their quarterback go down for the entire year in Trey Lance. Jimmy Garoppolo back at quarterback. They got to figure out a way to get Deebo Samuel the ball. They couldn't do that a lot last week. Brandon Ayuk had a big game, taking advantage of it, but it's got to, they got to get a consistent running game when they're on, a third string running back.